Okay, so rapid fire questions and answers. Another question that we had was, thank you for the reminder of kind of the 5-minute warning and how that's helpful for kids. Sometimes I can't always plan out perfectly that transition warning. And what do you suggest in these moments? So yeah, I get it. So it's like life happens, right? You know that you've got to be to school in 5 minutes and somehow a bird gets in the house, or the baby poops her diaper, or you fill in the blank with whatever chaos or calamity can happen in your house. So I understand life happens. In a perfect clinical environment where everything just runs smoothly all the time, it would be so easy to be like, okay, 5-minute warning, school is next. Please get your shoes on. Here's what I would say to that. Remember, kind of that framework, always the same. Set the standard, set the stage. So the expectation or the standard is obedience, right? And the stage, very important for transitions. Create a climate in your home and a culture in your home where the exceptions are just that, exceptions, and not the norm. So for example, before school nights, before church, make sure the night before, lay the outfits out in advance, right? And say to your kids, tomorrow morning, I'm going to let you know we have half an hour. You need to go ahead and get dressed. And then I'm going to give you the 5-minute warning, and you need to have your shoes on by then. Here's your dress. Here's your bow for your hair. Here's your shoes. And here's our plan for the morning, okay? So you understand what's going to happen in the morning. So in this way, you're preparing them. You're not preparing them the morning they wake up. You're actually preparing them the night before. So same thing with school. Have your lunch boxes located in the same spot, backpacks located in the same spot, so that on the day that they're not located there, it's the exception and not the norm. And then have a cue word for the exception mornings, okay? So for example, we used to do the Flight of the Bumblebee, and I would tell the boys, guys, it's Flight of the Bumblebee. And they knew that meant it was all hands on deck. Something was happening and we needed to quickly clean the house. And it was like, that meant like quickly run around, get all your toys, quickly run around, get any cups, dishes, bring them to the sink, and make sure towels are off the bathroom floor, clothes are in the hamper. That's what we called the Flight of the Bumblebee. And the boys knew what that meant. And we're good at that. So that was the exception. Normally, we didn't have towels all over the floor and dishes everywhere or whatever. But the exception was something's happening that's different than normal. Somebody's coming to the house that we weren't expecting or whatever it may have been. So we need to do the Flight of the Bumblebee. Another one might just be like 911. Sissy pooped. I can't help you guys. I need someone to finish putting the snacks in the bag for the beach, whatever it is. So 911, who can help? So have some cue words. Again, a lot of this comes down to gentle and faithful systems and training, so that when something happens where you don't have time to do a good transition, they already know the routine, they know the rhythms of your house, and they know what to expect, so that the unexpected is not all the time. If you find that your life is dictated by constant unexpected and chaos, I would just encourage you, reassess and slow down. What do you need to take off the table? What do you need to take off your schedule so that you guys can have a slow and steady, healthy rhythm? So again, though, practice. Role play is so important. So when they're little, practice the 911. Say, guys, it's 911. What do we do? And we're leaving the house. It's 911. What do we do? And show them, this is what I want you to do. I want you to get your shoes. I want you to get the backpacks, and I want you to get jackets. Come up with a plan and show them, and then practice that for a week. And that way, and then maybe dad comes home and you say, look what we've learned. Let me show you 911, and do it for dad. And in that way, you're training their brain that, okay, there's the normal rhythm, and then there's the act quick and listen to mom. So I know that it's not a perfect science, but the standard does not change. Your request of your children should be met with obedience, and that's important. When Jonah went in the opposite direction of God, he experienced some time in the belly of a fish because he didn't listen to God. And yet, God didn't send him overboard to drown, right? He allowed him to be safely transported, but he had some space and some time to think about his decisions. So You want to create a climate where if they don't listen and they don't follow your request for that quick transition, that you give them some time to think about it later. So maybe you do have to get to a doctor's appointment and you can't deal with it then. But later, when you come home at nap time, let's have a conversation. Let's spend some time in the belly of the whale. Let's talk about this. Now, and then you can decide if there's an appropriate consequence if they didn't listen or they chose to willfully disobey. There's a difference between a child just not knowing how to handle chaos or not knowing what to do, and a child who's just willfully disobeying you. So hopefully that helps. And yeah,